Hello and welcome to San Antonio on the campus of Trinity University and today's contest between two 6-2 teams here in the Southern Athletic Association. The Trinity University Tigers and the Birmingham Southern Panthers. And the teams are looking at the coin toss right now. And it looks like Trinity won the toss, and we'll see who's kicking and who is defending. Birmingham Southern won the toss and deferred. So Trinity will receive to start this contest. And we will get to see the Tiger offense out first. I mentioned both of these teams 6-2. Trinity with losses on the season to, at the time, top 10 ranked Hardin-Simmons and a top 10 ranked Berry team. And they have won 5 consecutive games since then. They are all-time against Birmingham Southern, 8-0. Panthers looking to make a change in that as they are 6-2 on the season. Their only losses, a 10-point loss to Hendricks back in September, and then the opening game of the season at LaGrange, they dropped that one 29-14. But other than that, they are perfect in the SAA, and that means that they control their own destiny going into the playoffs. If Birmingham Southern wins out, they are the automatic bid, and they are the conference champions. They will have a lot to play for today. Trinity will need some help if they wish to be conference champions. We're going to need Berry to lose one of their final 2 games of the year, and we'll keep close watch on the scoreboard as we await, presumably, Hayden Terrell's kickoff here. And back deep is going to be one of the most electrifying return men in all of the NCAA Division III, Chris Stewart. And he has had some fantastic returns. He is electric on punt returns. And we'll see if they choose to let him touch the ball on kickoffs. The last couple of games, teams have tried to avoid it as much as possible. I'm joined here today with Saul Malik. And Saul, help us get it underway here as we await the kickoff.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. You and I talked before the game about Birmingham Southern's electric run offense led by Robert Shufford, who averages like 180 yards per game. Just astronomical numbers, so we'll see how this one plays out here.
And we are underway, and this one is not going to go to Stewart. It's going to go to Edmondson, who is also very good on kickoff returns, and he is out past the 45 before he is upended right there at the 45 by, I believe that's Haynes Green. A couple of double numbers out here for the Panthers, and so we'll see if we can wait for the official stats to tell us who that was on the tackle. But nonetheless, fantastic starting position once again for Trinity. I think that's 3 games in a row here at home where they've taken the opening kickoff and brought it almost out to midfield.
Yeah, we saw against Sewanee that opening drive. It really took about a minute or two for Trinity to get on the board. That game they ultimately won 51-12, so hopefully this will set the pace for this match today.
Under center will be Wyatt Messick. And he is going to go to the air immediately. He's got Stewart, and it's a jump ball, and well defended by Birmingham Southern. That was DJ Albright, the sophomore defensive back, in coverage with Stewart.
Interesting shot down the field for Messick to take on the first play of the game, but a play I like. One-on-one coverage. Messick has a strong arm, good to look downfield and try to catch the defense off guard to start the drive. But alas, 2nd and 10 here.
Messick's averaging 205.5 yards per game in the air. He hits 4th for best in the conference. His opposition is 5th as Oaks throws for 198.8. And we will get to the Birmingham Southern offense because there is a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But for right now, Trinity 3rd down and long.
Yeah, that Birmingham Southern offense has put up some video game number points in their games on the season. Their last game, 52-42 shootout against Austin College that they took care of.
So 3rd down, Messick. Quick pass over the middle, and that's not going to be enough for a first down as it's only good for a 3-yard gain. Ryan Merrifield with the game's first completion. And that'll bring up 4th down, makes it to the other side of the field. So Trinity will come out to punt, and they'll look to pin that Panther offense deep back in their own territory. But rough start here for Trinity early on.
Yeah, not used to seeing this Tiger offense go 3 and out, also because we've seen some weaker opponents come through here, teams that have been struggling a little bit, but it seems that Birmingham Southern came here to play today, looking to improve, as you mentioned, on that 0-8 lifetime record against the Tigers.
This punt not very good, although it was bobbled, but nobody from Trinity around the returner. And that will lead to the Birmingham Southern recovery at about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, just all around, not a great-looking play. You know, you'd want the punt preferably to pin them within the first 5 or 10 yards at the very least, but pretty generous field position here to start for the Panthers. And now Trinity has to put up with this high-powered offense. The Tiger defense has been capable for the majority of the season, but this will probably be their biggest test to date.
Yeah, so we talk about the Birmingham Southern offense, and giving us a good segue is the conference leading rusher. And Robert Shufford with a first down run on his first carry, and that is no surprise. Comes into the game averaging 180.4 rushing yards per game. That's a lot. It's also 96.8 yards more than anybody else in the conference. Next closest guy is Van Hoos from Hendricks. He averages 83.6. And so Trinity will have their hands full today. Now Oaks looking to pass, and he's got a completed pass, tackled by Hover. And that one complete out to Mike Benning.
Yeah, looking at Shufford's numbers on the season, he also has 13 touchdowns across only 8 games played, so he's getting to the end zone a lot. These yards aren't just coming in garbage time. He's really putting up some good yards. As Birmingham Southern already making a march down the field.
And Shufford again as he's looking for first down yardage on 2nd and 2. And he will not get much. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, Shufford, just a great athlete. Looking at his bio, even before college, he was a 3-sport student athlete, lettering in football, basketball, and baseball. He was a second-team All-State running back in 2017 and a first-team All-State defensive back in 2016. So this guy has quite the resume in terms of his athletic career.
He'll get it again on 3rd down. Cuts back across the middle, and he's a yard over the first down marker. And it'll be another first down for the Panthers as they continue to move along.
Yeah, we'll see what Coach Urban employs defensively for this game. No, try to stop the run game, but then we've seen that Oaks has been a capable quarterback all season. So you really just have to pick your poison and try to limit the offense as best you can.
Oaks with the play action. He's going to scramble around and eventually throws it out of bounds on the sideline.
Yeah, I like the pressure there against Oaks. You might want to see Trinity bring that blitz more in this contest, try to make Oaks hurry it up, because when they keep it on the ground, you know, we've seen the success that they've had, and also the more time Oaks has, of course, the more he's going to be able to work with. So wouldn't mind seeing a few blitzes here early on.
It's going to be a fake handoff to Shufford, and Oaks is going to keep it on the end around, and he's going to have first down yardage. He picks up 10. And so far, a very solid start here for the Panthers, exactly what they were hoping for.
Yeah, this is a big game, as you talked about pregame. Huge game for Birmingham Southern, controlling their own destiny in the conference, just needing to win out here down the stretch to get that automatic bid.
Mentioned they've never beaten Trinity, 0-8 lifetime, but the last 2 years have been a lot closer. Game last year, 24-17, and the year before, 26-20 victories by Trinity. So Birmingham Southern definitely coming a long way, and They look like a top-notch team. Mentioned losing a game early on, but so far so good. And I mentioned earlier that they were undefeated in conference. That's not true. They lost to Hendricks, but because they lost to Hendricks, if they win out, they will only have one loss. If Barry wins out, they will only have one loss, which means the head-to-head tiebreaker will be advantage to the Panthers, and that will give them their first SAA title.
Yeah, that win from the Panthers against Barry was pretty convincing, 28-15 back in October. So you can see from the results, this team really not a fluke at all. They beat Rhodes 46-7. They beat Center by 17. So all their victories have come pretty decisively.
Long drive continues on. Second down from the Trinity 30. Now the handoff. It's not Shufford, but it sure looked like it on that run. Up the middle off to the left side is going to be Zach Say. So I'm trying to get the pronunciation there from the public address announcer, James Hill, who's likely making his last Trinity broadcast today, or PA today, retiring at the end of the year, went into the Athletic Hall of Fame a month ago. Oaks has a receiver on the outside. That one's complete. And the Panther offense, it's Brandon Rue. They just keep moving along. It's a pretty good Trinity defense. Has been slipping a little bit on yardage and points allowed per game, but has looked really solid when they've needed to. And right now, Southern really just taking their time and methodically ripping it apart.
Yeah, into the red zone now at the 14-yard line. Might see if they take a shot in the end zone here, but they'll keep it on the ground.
And Shufford once again. He's going to be tackled near the line of scrimmage. Coming up to meet him was Jeremy Harris. Right now, third down and a long three, maybe a short four. If you can hold Birmingham Southern to a field goal here after a drive that's consumed nearly 5.5 minutes, I'd say that it's a pretty good result here for the defense, all things considered. If you're Birmingham Southern, obviously you want to punch this one in.
Yeah, it's been a nice, long, drawn-out drive. We haven't seen a lot of those from Trinity's opponents because the defense has been so uptight.
Oaks looks to his left, Shufford, but he overthrows him as the pressure was coming up the middle. And that's going to be one of your team captains, Campbell Miller, the junior defensive lineman, disrupting Oaks' ability to make that little out pass to Shufford.
That pass seemed to be the right decision, though. It looked like Shufford would have gotten along untouched there had he been able to bring that ball in. But a pretty manageable field goal now. Panthers should be able to strike first here.
This will be Terrell, and see if he can put it through. That one's off to the right, but through. He kicked it from the left hash mark, and that is an early 3-0 lead for the Panthers. And 7:33 left here in the first quarter. They strike first. Trinity will get the ball for the second time when we return in just a minute.
especially when you've worked so hard for it. Now the Tigers on 3rd and 10 have another chance to get that elusive third down conversion. It's been successful for them so far on 3rd and 7 and 3rd and 12 on this drive. So see if we can strike pay dirt here.
Messick's corner of the end zone. Levine, he's got it. Did he hold on? No, he dropped it at the very end. Unfortunate there for the Tigers.
A really strong coverage in the back of the end zone. We're seeing some pretty decent coverage here from the Birmingham Southern secondary, but that's a play Trinity likes to go to. They always take that corner of the end zone look. It's been Levine a lot on the season, but also has been Burtness and Stewart, and so just out of the reach of Tommy Levine there on the coverage, but good chance to tie things up here.
And it is up and through. And Shepard has tied the game for the Tigers. And we are knotted at 3. Sorry for the audio difficulties earlier. We hope to have that back now. Realize we missed most of that drive. But Trinity very good offensively, adding 65 yards on that scoring drive. And they have tied the game 3-3. A minute 24 left here first half. And we may repeat a few things if you've already heard us, but we'll catch you back up on everything that's going around the SAA and, of course, here right in front of you. Thank you for joining us here for Trinity and Birmingham Southern. Take a quick break and be right back for the kickoff. It'll be Shepard to kick off. And from the 35, he sends it away. This one taken at the 5-yard line by Birmingham Southern and back up across the middle, and a fantastic run. I believe that was number 22 for the Panthers.
Good to see some life from the Trinity bench now. That opening drive, not a whole lot going for the Tigers, and then it looked as if they were in jeopardy of conceding a touchdown to the Panthers. But now you look at the scoreboard, knotted up at 3 apiece. You have to love where you are right now if you're Coach Urban, considering the way things are looking from the get-go.
Yeah, Tavion Fleming with the setup for Birmingham Southern, out past the 30 to the 35, and be Shepard again. Michael Jewett making the tackle on the kickoff.
Looking at Shepard's numbers, even that average of 180 doesn't even really do him justice, considering he only had 58 in that opening loss to LaGrange. His last 2 games, he's ran for 250 yards against Austin College and then 282 yards against Center, 3 touchdowns in each of those ones. So just absolutely ludicrous numbers from Shepard.
And he's going to be wrapped up after getting 5 yards in the first carry. He's dropped for no gain here. Nice job by the Trinity defensive line. And in the mix there, I saw Harris Good. Harris Good usually in the mix. Most of the plays the defensive line is making call his name out a bunch this year, as he's the one running off the field right now here on 3rd and short.
Yeah, stop here would be huge.
Oaks with all sorts of time, has a receiver. It was caught and now fumbled. We'll see if they ruled him down. It doesn't look like the umpire who was right behind him ruled him down at all.
Yeah, interesting play there. That'll also be the last play of the first quarter. So we'll have to see what the officials say here.
Either way, it's going to be 4th down. And as you said, that is the end of the first. So we'll be back here after a brief break. And Birmingham Southern will likely be punting. We'll find out for sure when we return. All right, second quarter. And they ruled it a completed catch by Birmingham Southern for 3 yards, and it was a forced fumble by Caleb Harmel. It was recovered by Shufford back at the 40. So 4th and 6, Birmingham Southern to punt it away, and it's a great punt. Fair catch called for by Stewart. And the Tigers will take over right around the 20. A fantastic job by Birmingham Southern. About a 40-yard punt. But not only that, 40 yards net, because Stewart, no chance to return that one as it had great hang time.
Yeah, great punt there. The best result you could really ask for coming off of a 4th down. Interesting on that last play. I mean, I know the result was basically the same, but interesting that they did call that a completed pass because it never looked like the receiver really had the ball. But anyway, Trinity taking over.
Messick. And he's going to keep it. He's got one-on-one coverage and just dropped. Tony Levine.
Oh, man, those are the ones you want to have back right there.
Charles Davis in on this drive, and what we've been accustomed to here, it's Davis and Lay, and they kind of switch off amongst each other, and who's going to be the back for the series. And we'll see if Davis has that same type of impact that Lay had on the last drive. He's going to get a chance here. He cuts back up the middle, and he's still going, lurches ahead, and he's got about 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, good to see Davis out there on this drive. Usually we've seen more of Davis than Lay on the season. Lay is more served as sort of the 3rd down back at times, but.
Take a look at that previous pass. Oh, sorry. We'll get that sorted. Yeah, because I was curious on that previous play. It happened right about here on the where Trinity is. 3rd down and 6. A little throw out pass. It's complete. Out to Davis. He's got 1st down yardage, and he's looking for more. He's still going, and he's finally pulled out of bounds by Race Marin. And a huge play. So we talked about, could Charles Davis come in and have a similar impact as Griffin Lay did on the previous drive? And I think right there he just answered a huge emphatic yes as he keeps the drive going on 3rd and 6.
Those short little dump-off passes have been so effective all season long, and there's another one on 3rd down. They're opening up the field for the Tigers at exactly midfield now.
Davis gets about 18 inches.
Good work by Davis there. It looked like he might have been able to get taken down behind the line of scrimmage, but fought for that little bit of extra space. Now 2nd and 9 here at about midfield. Wouldn't be surprised to see Messick take another one of those deep shots downfield.
Pressure coming, and Messick is going to have to scramble out of it. He can't quite do it. The initial pressure coming straight up the middle by Corey Robinson. That'll be a sack for the Panthers, and it's now a 3rd and long for Trinity. Back on the Birmingham Southern side of the field.
Yeah, 3rd and 12 here. See if they can at least get a little bit of positive yardage to make that punt easier to try to pin the Panthers right near the end zone. Another sack against Messick there. The Trinity offensive line just giving way to that pressure from the Panthers. It's definitely something that will need to get fixed if the Tigers have a shot at winning this one. Now 4th and 16 here for the Tigers, being forced to punt from their own 44-yard line. First punt left a little to be desired from the Tigers, so we'll see if they can get better yardage on this one. On the way here. And the fair catch called for by Birmingham Southern, so they'll take back over here with about 11.5 to play in the second quarter. Tied at 3 apiece on the 24-yard line. Trinity doing a better job there on the last defensive drive, holding Birmingham Southern in place, making them punt it away. Now the Tigers will try to do more of the same or even get a turnover here, which would be really ideal, stopping that high-powered Panther offense. Handoff again to Shufford, so he looks to create some space here. Wow, really working for those extra yards there. Got about 4 or 5 potentially on that play. We'll see where they spot it. You know, just such a high-powered offense as we keep talking about between Shufford and the success of quarterback Trevor Oakes, the junior from Somerville, Alabama. Birmingham Southern led by Coach Tony Joe White, who has to be impressed with this offensive outpour here. So 2nd and 7 officially on the 27-yard line. Oakes lining up under center. Looks like they will probably go back to Shufford, and they do. Finding a little bit of space up the hole there. Bring up 3rd down. Really big chance here for the Tiger defense to pitch it 3 and out. This game deadlocked at 3. Interesting enough that this game is just 3 apiece. Both teams featuring pretty high-powered offenses here. Birmingham Southern's defense hasn't been too consistent on the season. I mean, they've had a few good games, but they also allowed 42 points in their last contest against Austin College. They hand it off. Shufford gets plenty for the first down here. A little bit more information about Birmingham Southern, located in Birmingham, Alabama, with about 1,200 students here, founded in 1856 actually as a Southern College, and then was merged with another school in 1918. So consolidated with Birmingham College in 1918 and has been referred to as Birmingham Southern ever since. The school actually has a Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society there, one of only 3 schools in all of Alabama to have such an honor society. So a little bit of background there on the opponents. Oakes rolling out, incomplete to the receiver down there at the corner. We'll see who that is. We can get a number there down at the end. And now closer here to our side on the broadcasting part of things. There appears to be an injury against the offense, so the trainer will come out, and we have to hope that that player is okay. We'll be back in just a second as that injury gets sorted out. Wishing all the best to that player down on the ground. We'll get a little more information as it presents itself. Stay right here. And welcome back to the action here between Trinity and Birmingham Southern. It appeared that number 74 was hurt for the Panthers, Spencer Schofield, on that offensive line. The senior able to walk off on the field with the assistance of his teammates. So, you know, you never want to hope for injury from any player on any team. So good to see that he seems to be at the very least able to walk off the field. And there needs to be more said about the effort that these guys put out on the field every time, even on the D3 level. These guys give it their all, and it is not an easy game to play, especially when you're constantly dealing with hits and tackles and that sort of thing. So you have to hope the best for him. Back to live action, 2nd and 10 here for the Panthers at the 40-yard line, and Shufford is off to the races. Man, can that kid fly. Picked up some good yardage there. It's now 3rd down and 1, just about midfield. You know, Josh and I were talking earlier in the broadcast about Robert Shufford, junior out of Mackenzie, Alabama. Only 5'7" in stature, but that just gives him all the more room to be elusive and sneak through the defense with his quickness. He's rushed for at least 230 yards in his last 3 games. And the Tigers have done a nice job relatively of limiting his production in this first half. As you see, the Panthers still do only have 3 points on the scoreboard. And we'll see if they mark it past the 49, see if they give them the first down here. Appears to be some deliberation still between the officials, and it looks like Shufford did get enough for that first down. So fresh set of downs here for Birmingham Southern. Oaks letting one fly deep down the field, just overthrowing his receiver. Good pressure from KD, Kadarius Lee, the senior out there, getting recognized with the rest of the seniors prior to this one. Good to see him.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of really good downfield coverage. I think that eventually late in this game, I think we're going to see some of those passes connect, and those types of plays are going to be there. But for right now, the coverage has been superb.
Yeah, both Kadarius and Nick Hover, both seniors out there on that one. Good use of double coverage there from Coach Urban's defense. Oh, someone jumped the line there.
We'll see if it's second and short or second and longer. It'll be second and longer for Birmingham Southern.
Yeah, we'll get pushed back to 5 yards to make it a 2nd and 15. Good chance for this Tiger defense to force another punt. And you know, with the score being 3-3, this honestly is what Trinity wants out of this one, a low-scoring contest at home to be able to maybe sneak one away with the defense. Wow, look at Shufford cut back and avoid those initial tackles. Man, this kid is something special. It looked like he was going to get stopped short of even the line of scrimmage and was able to get good yardage on that one.
Yeah, for me, it's a joy to watch a pure runner, and Shufford definitely a pure runner. He's put up the big numbers, but cuts like that and the ability to elude tackles.
Yeah, he was able to get 8 out of that.
A treat for those watching today.
Trinity crowd really getting into this one. 3rd and 7 here for the Panthers.
Oaks from shotgun, and it's going to be heavy pressure, and my goodness.
Wow. He really ran back there.
Oaks was just doing what he could to try to create space, but he was not going to get away from Matthew Willis. And Matthew Willis, extraordinary speed for the big man, really pushed Willis all the way back. And see if we can get a good look at this one. Figure out those technical difficulties here before too long. We'll get you back to live coverage. And another fantastic punt. This is going to send Stewart back all the way to the 14. He's going to try to return it. Makes the corner, and he's got room to run. He's out past the 40. He's got 2 to beat. And it's going to be the man who gave him the ball, the punter, making the tackle. And if not for Wells Smith, that's a touchdown for Stewart. And my goodness, we talked about the electricness of Stewart. Talked about how good Shufford is a running back. Equally as good as Stewart on punt returns and kick returns.
Yeah, it's not just Stewart's quickness that really separates him from the rest. It's just his football IQ, knowing where to make the cuts, where to make the runs, taking it to the outside. You know, all the defense was concentrated down the middle, so he took it wide and was able to create all that space to get really positive yardage there to put Trinity on the opposition's 41.
And it's going to be a completed pass for a first down. Austin Burtness once again.
Trinity with a good chance to take the lead here on this drive in really good position for at least the 3. Edmondson on the carry on that one, gets 3 yards. Interesting to see the way the Tigers have deployed the running backs in this game. We saw Griffin Lay in those first couple drives, and we saw Charles Davis, who we've been used to seeing, and now we see a carry from Edmondson, but that looks to be maybe a one-time thing.
Tigers with the ball at the 25. Messick drops back. Pressure coming, but he lets it go. Touchdown, Chris Stewart. Tigers have the lead, 9-3, pending the PAT. Fantastic pass from Wyatt Messick. Even better, cradle of the catch from Stewart.
Great pass there from Messick right into the breadbasket of Chris Stewart, splitting the coverage there.
PAT by Shepard is up and through.
Tigers with their first lead of the game, 10-3 now, leading by a touchdown. You see the replay of that one. Wow, what a perfectly thrown ball there from Wyatt Messick.
The crowd fairly excited here for the Tigers now.
Yeah, we got to see the wave right in front of us. And again, there.
Washington Nationals, they banned the wave at their stadium. They went on to win the World Series.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to take away anybody's fun, but you know what works for somebody else might work for you too. I'm just a little bitter. The wave kind of blocks my view here for the people standing right in front of us as the kickoff is returned out past the 30. And that's where Birmingham Southern will attempt a comeback with 5:31 left here in the first half. And Trinity, after struggling early on, both offensively on a 3-and-out and then giving up a 62-yard drive that ended in a field goal, really has the momentum, has everything going for them right now.
Yeah, great to see the Tigers' resilience here. It looked like they came out in a very sluggish mood, but have really found that energy here, leading 10-3 with their defense looking to have figured some things out here. So we'll see if they can get another stop.
Harris good once again.
Tell you what, it is not coming easy for Shufford today.
Hardin Simmons, running back this year, is one of the nation's best as well. And Trinity gave up over 100 yards to him, but he's averaging nearly 200 yards a game as well. And I think both of these, Shufford and their running back for Hardin Simmons, both in the top 5 nationally. And Trinity, with a little bit of experience playing somebody like that, maybe helping them just a touch. And as I say that, Shufford's going to just bolt out for a 15-yard run and a first down.
Yeah, that game against Hardin Simmons, Tigers only allowed 16. Unfortunately, it was a loss. And both the losses for the Tigers have not been any fault of the defense. Those games 16-10 and 14-10 against 2 top 10 opponents. So
from the 45, Shufford takes a delayed handoff and is able to gain about 10 inches. Or excuse me, that one on the ground was number 23. So Justin Robertson getting the carry there.
we'll see if Oaks is able to do something here with the arm. Only thrown for 19 passing yards on the day so far. We're almost at halftime, so we'll see what he can do here. He keeps it on the ground again.
Yeah, it's Robertson once again as Shepard taking a quick breather after his 15-yard run. And Robertson takes him up across midfield into Tiger territory. Shuffle back in now for the Panthers. Touchdown catch by Stewart, his 6th on the year. That ties him with Austin Burtness for second on the team. Tommy Levine with 8. A lot of touchdown passes being slung around by Wyatt Messick this year. Oaks keeps it. Now the throw. He's got a receiver wide open, and Nick Hover almost with the INT on senior day.
Yeah, that pass thrown into what looked like almost triple coverage there. Really seemed like a throw out of desperation with Oaks dropping back. Not a whole lot of time for him to survey the field and look at all of his options. But regardless of Hover not making the interception, still 4th down, and the Tigers should get this back here on the punt.
I would expect another magnificent punt here. I would also expect it to go nowhere near Chris Stewart.
Yeah, if they're thinking it's not going to go anywhere in the same zip code that Stewart's standing in right now.
And that's going to be a fake. And not fooled one bit is going to be the Tigers. I thought maybe when he eluded the first tackle, it was the up back. And I believe that was Mike Benning, the tight end, taking it. I thought maybe after that initial juke, he was going to have the opportunity there, but not to be on that play. And Trinity's really not fooled by it. They weren't going for a punt block, and they just kind of were holding with their line. And as soon as that play was snapped, they just reacted appropriately.
We've seen teams try that quite a few times against Trinity. I don't know if it's just a D3 football thing to, try to do a little creativity on these plays, or if they're just that scared of Chris Stewart lurking back there waiting for these punts. Could be a little bit of both, but.
Messick drops back. He's got Burtness on the far corner. We may have been off air earlier on the Tigers' first scoring drive on their field goal for a couple of plays on that drive. We talked about Austin Burtness and just how good he is at running routes, and I think that was a premier example right there. Got to the corner pretty quickly, was able to jump up with that size that he has, 6'3", 6'4", and make the play.
Yeah, no wonder Coach Urban's a huge fan of his.
Might have been a hold that wasn't called. Messick's going to run it around and upended. Got quite a bit of height there. Gibbs Sherrill making the play. But it's going to be a 5-yard gain for Messick on the run. And that's one of the things Messick's able to do really well. He's able to get to the outside. He's able to scramble around. And then he's going to beat you with his arm.
Yeah, it's a really versatile option there behind center.
Lay's going to try to push forward, and I don't think he's got the first down, but he's close. And the far field judge far sideline judge is going to say it's 3rd and 1.
Perfect chance here for Trinity to use the clock to their advantage here, get this first down, and then slow things down. You have all your timeouts, so that is not a concern. You just don't want to get Birmingham Southern too much time to work with here.
Messick's going to go to the air. And I'm going to say completed catch. Tommy Levine went down low to get it.
Good to see Levine back in the action. He had that dropped ball earlier, and we hadn't seen anything from him since, so good for him to pick up that first down. He is leading the team with 8 touchdown receptions on the season, so you expected to see his name called sooner rather than later.
You're not going to keep a senior down here on senior day. Tommy looking to go out with a positive game. Tiger fans are going to miss his efforts next year, but good group of guys coming in.
Yeah, perfect use of the clock here. Tigers letting it run down, but yeah, you know, it's always bittersweet to see the seniors move on. You expect them to be productive with whatever they go on to do.
And it's going to be Messick with a keeper trying to get to the outside, and once again making the play. Cheryl, fantastic job tripping up Messick. 22 seconds left. Trinity's going to take the timeout. 2nd down and 8, make it a 3rd down and 8. As you can see, the down and distance marker right there. As we are quickly approaching halftime.
Yeah, these final 22 seconds, you ideally would want the touchdown here, but of course 3 points is better than no points. Curious to see if on this 3rd down play they go back to another one of those short little drop-off passes that's worked so well down the sideline. With a few blockers there, those plays can always turn into touchdowns, so we'll just have to wait and see.
See Coach Urban there in the black shirt, his offensive coordinator, and offensive coordinator for the Tigers, Wade Lytle, and I believe he was talking with Stu Krish there. So 3rd and 8, 22 seconds left. Tigers are already up 7, but they're looking for more. Messick. Now he's going to have to run. He escapes, and he's got a chance. And he's not going to be able to escape this. And it's going to be a quarterback sack for Birmingham Southern. And doing very well, doing in containment, is going to be Garrett Stevens, a junior linebacker. Or actually, that looked like 58, but they're going to say Garrett Smith, number 56, on the sack. The 56 and the 58, very similar in appearance.
And both named Garrett.
Yeah, both named Garrett. So Garrett on the sack, that I can tell you. Trinity men's soccer in the SCAC championships this weekend. That's being held here on campus, just a couple of football field links away, down on the southern part of campus. Tigers winning yesterday, 1-0 victory over the University of Dallas, advancing today to play TLU. That game in action right now, just underway, about 8 minutes in. And for the Tigers, they're looking to go up by double digits here with Shepard, as he is on to attempt a 37-yard field goal.
Yeah, it should be a buzzer beater here for Charlie Shepard.
Officially 38 now, and whistles are blowing, so timeout for Birmingham Southern.
Yeah, looks like they'll try to ice Shepard. Maybe get in his head a little bit. I've never been a huge proponent of that technique. I feel like the kicker honestly can give him some more time to prepare how he's going to kick the ball, prepare the offense for how they're going to set it up. But it's more just an annoyance, honestly.
Of course, that made famous by Mike Shanahan, his time with the Denver Broncos, and it has worked, and it has also not worked. And so every now and then they don't call it just in time, and they're able to get the snap off, and the kicker follows through and misses a kick or something to that effect, and then they come through after the timeout and they boot one through.
Yeah, those ones are funny when it's missed, but then it's negated by that timeout. So it can have all sorts of wonky effects when they try to do that strategy.
So Shepard on 28 yards. The play should take us through halftime. And it's another timeout. And now this is one rule that I would throw out of the books. I would take out double timeouts.
Yeah, this is absurd, actually. I don't think I've actually seen this since calling games here as a student at Trinity. Man, you imagine the nerves on Shepard now, though. I mean, the first icing was enough, and now the icing on top of the icing.
I think it's also one of those things, 38-yard field goal. For Shepard, he's hit from 40, 40 plus, almost 50 on the year. And so I don't know if icing is going to be, as one of the coaches' play cards has made its way down from the top of the press box, just fluttering and floating around. The home side crowd quick to get that back up.
Yeah, all sorts of weird stuff, man. All the weirdest stuff goes on in the game with the 3 seconds left in the half. So
3 seconds left in the half, 4th and 8. You know, if you want to get really crazy, maybe during the 2 timeouts there, Coach Urban's called up a fake play here. But I'd imagine we're going to see Shepard give it a try from 38.
All right, here we're actually going to do it this time.
Snap is down, the kick is up, and it is right through the middle. And it is 13-10 here at the half. And the Tigers have the lead over Birmingham Southern. And we'll be back in about 15 minutes for the second half and see what kind of adjustments the Panthers will make and see what Trinity can do to keep the momentum. Thanks for watching Tiger Network here live from San Antonio. We'll be back in just a bit. And welcome back. About 4 minutes left here in the half, and we've got a couple of halftime stats for you. Robert Shefford, 14 carries for 70 yards, a 5-yard average, and that kind of speaks to what we expected. 180 yards per game coming in, and on pace for 140 plus. Maybe see him get stronger as the second half goes on. So 70 yards in the first half for Shefford. 4 of 9 passing for Trevor Oakes for 19 yards. He's been sacked once. Wyatt Messick, on the other hand, 9 of 14, 8 of his last 10, 129 yards, 1 touchdown, and he has been sacked 3 times. Griffin Lay, 28 yards on 9 carries for the Tigers. And Austin Burton is leading the way. 3 catches, 45 yards. Chris Stewart, 2 for 38. And one of those going the distance to put the Tigers up 10-3 at the time. And now have the 13-3 lead. And saw your impressions of the first half.
Man, I was impressed with how Trinity bounced back from that early slow start. Looked like the Tigers were pretty solid on defense, able to put up enough points to get that 10-point advantage. I'm curious to see what Birmingham Southern does on offense this half, as you mentioned. Potential for Shefford to explode at any moment, but we haven't seen a lot from quarterback Trevor Oakes, who has been pretty good this season. So we'll see if we can see more from him as the Tigers try to hold on to this lead.
Well, we mentioned that touchdown pass from Messick to Stewart, and we'll get one more look at it here. 26-yard completion. And we talked about it as it happened. That's just perfectly placed ball out past the outstretched arms of the defenders. It's throwing it in perfect window into double coverage.
That play, there was a great late block there to prevent Messick from getting sacked. It looked like someone was unblocked there at the very end, just managed to stave off that pressure. So.
And that's really the difference in this game. 2 field goals for Trinity, just 1 for Birmingham Southern. That coming on their first drive, 62-yard drive, capped off by a field goal when the Trinity defense kind of finally came back around, as you might say. And then the Trinity defense has looked really solid since then. Leading the way, Caleb Harmel. He's got 9 total tackles and a half tackle for a loss, but also a forced fumble recovered by Birmingham Southern, but it was on 3rd down, so it did force the 4th down even more so than what it was. It could have been 4th and short, midfield, maybe a fake opportunity. It made it 4th and 6, and they had to punt it away, and then Trinity's offense got going a little bit after that. And punting for Birmingham Southern, Wells Smith, 2 punts for 84 yards, 42-yard average, 46 long, but he did have 1 return for 44 yards by Chris Stewart. Made the tackle on the play, saved it from being a bigger lead for the Tigers. And 40 seconds to go here in the half. Tigers leading the way, 10 first downs to 7. And passing yardage, Birmingham Southern 86 yards on the ground compared to 32 for the Tigers, but Tigers holding a 110-yard advantage in the air, 129-19, and that being the difference right now. 161 yards for Trinity, just 105 for Birmingham Southern, but Panthers will get the ball to start the second half as they won the toss and deferred, so it'll be a little bit of Shefford out there to begin. And we'll see if Oakes gets going, because 5th leading passer in the conference, averaging almost 200 yards a game, and he's only at 10% of his weekly totals. I'd imagine we see something getting going through the air for Birmingham Southern.
Yeah, it's really interesting that Shefford already has those 70 yards, because the Panthers do only have those 3 points. So Shefford can get his 140, 150 yards, and the Tigers still be in pretty good shape.
Shepard to kick off, and Shepard withstanding 2 timeouts, 2 icing of the kickers right before the half. And that one bobbled at the 4-yard line and picked up, and every now and then you bobble it and go back and retrieve it, and then the lanes have broken down a little bit on the kick return or on the kickoff. The defenders running down, holding their lanes, get a little confused trying to go down there, and that one returned back out past the 20. So fortunately for Birmingham Southern, And unfortunately for Trinity as well, that didn't break out into a broken play that goes the distance and changes the momentum of this game immediately. Tiger defense will get a chance to have their say. And the Panther offense out there looking to make more of an impact and possibly through the air. Oaks is going to keep, and now he's off to the left. And he's going to run out of bounds for a sack. Unless, well, I say sack, depending on the statistician's interpretation of whether or not that was a design run play. But that is a 3-yard loss, and that'll bring up 2nd and 13.
It looked like a pass play that just got sort of broken down, so I would say that he, I guess, sacked himself there, running out of bounds to avoid the contact.
Schuffer now with some room to run, cuts back into the crowd, but he brings it back over the 25, up to the 27, and that'll be about a 7.5-yard gain. So was officially 2nd and 12, will probably be 3rd and 6. So now they'll say 3rd and 7. Big play here for Trinity's defense. They would love to get off the field, and I think this is the pivotal play of the game right now for Birmingham Southern. I think their offense needs to find something, refine that drive that they had to open the game. Schuffer, he's got room to run, or excuse me, this is Robertson coming in, and he's got room to run, and that is a huge gain for a first down.
Wow, big play there from Justin Robertson. Good blocking from the offensive line, freeing up that spot on the right side of the field for Robertson to just run through and get extra yardage there. Really just untouched until he was finally brought down.
Robertson with 3 carries in the first half, 11 yards, 6 on the long. There's a 1st and 10 play right in front of us. Is Robertson? No, it's Oaks keeping. And then throwing that one down into the ground. He was looking for a receiver, but was about 5 yards short of connecting.
Yeah, flag down
with
on the
Luke
field
Defer.
too. See what that flag was for. It was down here near the sideline.
An eligible man downfield on Birmingham Southern.
Number 6.
And we caught every 15th syllable
Yeah,
on that one. And so
strange.
I think they said it was on number 60, but I could not tell for certain. Either way, Birmingham Southern is going backwards for a few yards, and it'll be first down all over again. So interesting that the Tigers took that, because it would have been 2nd and 10. They'll take the 1st and 15. This is Robertson again. He's got another running lane.
Wow,
Bust that one
really
through.
Creating a lot of yardage here.
So he gets 13 of that 15 back. And that jersey ends in 3, and I only catch a piece of it, but he's out there making a case that he can be just as good as Shuffled, and now running just enough for the first down. That's back-to-back first down rushes for Robertson. Shuffle will come back into the mix.
And just this dynamic duo of running backs here. They're now at 126 total rushing yards on the game. It's just the inverse of what Trinity's doing with the breakdown of passing and rushing.
Exactly. We talked earlier that if Trinity's best attempt to maybe isolate Shuffled and now Robertson getting into that mix too, but isolate the run game would be if they could get back up and get up 2 or 3 scores and force Birmingham Southern into passing the ball, which they do here. And that one,
yeah, it was incomplete.
Incomplete.
It's hard to see, but just have to look at the referee's signal there.
Yeah, we're not much higher than the alternative angle. That's about the angle that we're at right there on your screen right now. And so anything towards the sideline, a little bit difficult for us to make heads or tails of.
Yeah, the longest pass in the first half from Oaks, you're looking at the stat sheet, only 8 yards. So this drive has been exclusively rushing, as has been the story for the entire afternoon.
Shuffled, cuts back to his left, and he's going to have a few yards there, about 5. He averaged 5 yards in the first half, and it just looks like every time he touches the ball, it just automatically give him 5 yards. because even when he gets hit immediately, it turns into a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, he's good at taking the tackles and bouncing off them. Even when he's brought down, he's able to extend and create a little bit of extra yardage.
He's got it again, and he's out to the first down marker. So, like I said, give him the ball, he's got 5 yards.
Exactly what he needed there. And the drive will continue, and it has been all on the ground, not a single yard in the air. And all of this drive for the Panthers does not seem to be an issue for them. So they will prefer it that way. And, you know, with the third quarter just being underway here, there's plenty of time in the half for the Panthers to make a stand offensively. See if Oaks finally takes a shot down the field here. He won't. Oh, he'll take it himself.
Yeah, he looked to pass, and now he's going to just keep it down. And eventually outruns the defender to the sideline, and manager stays up on his feet.
Yeah, had to run out there to avoid the tackle of Michael Jewett, Trinity's top defender on the season.
Robertson back in at tailback. They'll give it to him. Cuts left and tries to cut back into the middle. Tiger defensive line meeting him. And it's going to be a short gain of about 2. Second down. I think you're in a position here where for Birmingham Southern, you want to take a shot towards the end zone. You've got a really good opportunity to do it. Still got 2 downs to make a first down on the ground if you need to.
Yeah, just take that shot in the corner there maybe in man coverage. They won't.
And they keep it on the ground, shuffled up to the 10-yard line, maybe 11. See exactly where they spot it, and it's going to be really close to first down. They're saying it is.
Wow. Generous spotting there on that one.
Yeah, hard to see exactly where that was. You get a good look right down the line right now. Ball's on the 11.
I think here's where you take that shot in the end zone. 1st and 10 on the 11.
And give it to Shuffle. He'll go left, cuts it back up to the right, and he's going to get into the end zone. And it is a Birmingham Southern touchdown.
Wow, that was impressive to watch, even from the Trinity side of things. And you had to expect that at some point Robert Shufford would end up in the end zone.
Coming in, Terrell, for the extra point to make it a field goal lead for Trinity. If he can boot this up and through. That was down, and see Chris Stewart running through the area there. He's got the speed to block him. He's done it before, but that one up and good. Make it 13-10. Birmingham Southern takes 6 minutes, or 5:14 off the clock on their opening drive here to start the second half, and they have cut the 10-point lead back down to just 3. It'll be Tigers receiving the kick when we return. Get a good look. It's going to be Mike Edmondson on the left. It's Chris Stewart on the right. Edmondson's had some pretty good kickoff returns. You know what Stewart can do. Maybe just kick it out of bounds. Just
be safe.
Be
just
safe.
Get it away from Stewart.
Because you've got the lead back down to 3. Let your defense go out there and have a shot.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I guess you said that in joking, but honestly, not even really out of the question. It's a strategy. Just get the ball away from Chris Stewart. He'll take it back 30, 40 yards on any given moment.
Edmondson's kickoff return earlier took Tigers out to midfield, 37 yards to open the game. And they're going to kick it his way again. And no, they're just going to kick it out of bounds. Like I said, the smart move right there. Edmondson with a 37-yard return, and Stewart had a 44-yard punt return. So, you know, take the law of averages. And I think they're actually going to make him re-kick it.
Out of bounds on the kicking team. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, and we'll re-kick.
Yeah, they're going to get penalized for that.
Yeah, some of the rules that I think I'd like to see changed. One, can't call back-to-back timeouts. If you can't get it done in one timeout, I really think that you're just at a loss right there. But then two, you should allow the opponent to kick the ball out of bounds, take the ball at the 40, and just move on.
Yeah.
The re-kick of this is just, I think, a bit much. But it gives Trinity an opportunity here to actually field one and let their explosive kick return team have something to do.
Well, yeah, and the issue with re-kicking it is, what if the guy then shanks the kick again, it goes out of bounds again? You're just going to keep going through the cycle of kicking the ball for an hour? I mean, it...
Yeah, you're just going to be kicking the ball back from the goal line and seeing how far you can go.
Right.
And this one sent away, squibbed down the middle, now towards the sideline again. Edmondson's going to pick it up from around there. He's going to try to get to his left. He's beaten one defender, and he's going to get tackled by the second that gets to him, but he's up to the 35. And so not the huge return that we've seen in the past, but still a pretty good return nonetheless.
Yeah, he was able to evade the first tackle of 37, Jimmy Anderson, that would have brought him down pretty far back, so at least made a little more out of that than initially it looked like. Ball at about the 35 now for the Tigers to operate. Looking to improve upon this 3-point lead. They had it up to 10 before that opening Panther drive here, which was all on the ground.
First play on the ground for the Tigers. Charles Davis will take it off the left side, and he'll be upended after about a 2-yard gain. Coming up on the tackle, Wes Guilford. It'll be second and about 7.
Watch Stewart there in man coverage down in the corner. Might take a shot to him. No, keep it on the ground.
Give it to Davis. He lunges forward for about 2 yards, so it'll bring up 3rd and 5. Mentioned at the outset of this broadcast, Trinity and to extent Birmingham Southern needing Barry to lose today at the half, 28-9. They are up over center. Elsewhere in the SAA, it is 22-0 Austin College over Rhodes. And Millsaps and Hendricks kicking off at the same time this game did. As that one is incomplete, as it was almost intercepted out of the hands of the Tiger receiver. And unable to come up with the catch was Ryan Merrifield, and almost intercepted. So the Tigers' first possession of the second half, much like the first possession of the opening game. And they'll go 4-0, 3 and out. And TJ Radozinski will be back for punting duties here. I would not expect a fake, but don't rule it out.
Yeah, you never know what you'll see out here.
And he boots a beautiful punt, sending the returner back, and that is going to go all the way into the end zone.
Man.
The Tiger defender losing sight of that one. I think if he'd have had good eyes on that one the whole way, he might have had a shot at downing that one. Nonetheless, absolutely beautiful punt from the Tigers.
Yeah, it was looking like the way that thing was going to land, that it might be able to bounce and stay out of that end zone, which would have been the ideal scenario for the Tigers, but they'll take it, the 20, and be able to pitch a stop defensively here. Hopefully, the problem with the way the Birmingham Southern offense has worked, they take these long drives. So you'd like to get them 3 and out here.
They go to the air and making the catch, but immediately being tackled. There's going to be Gentry Neese. Mentioned scores from around the way. Hendricks up on top of Millsaps, 13-7. at the half. They just started the third quarter as well. And so I'm trying to keep an eye out there on that Barry score, but not looking good for the Trinity side. They do have Austin College next week. Austin College playing very well. This one, run. Now scampering around, shuffle. My goodness, that should have been a loss of 2 or 3 yards, and he's going to turn that into, if nothing else, a gain of about 2.
Yeah, unfortunate that Barry game is turning out the way it is. Center really has had a season to forget. You know, they're used to being in that top ranking position, or toward the top, but
8:21 in the fourth quarter, 38-22. Barry just scoring a touchdown. Center had brought it within 9. Barry going up now 15. Now make it 16 with the extra point going through. 38-22 as Oaks is going to scamper around, gets past Willis, and he's going to be out past the 40. And Birmingham Southern, whether or not they know what's going on down in Georgia or up in Kentucky as it is, center of the home team, or not, trying to make their case. They just have to win out. Now, if they can win out, they will be the automatic bid for the NCAA playoffs. They will represent the SAA. And I think with a ground game like that, they could be a really good representative of the conference. So that one up the middle is going to be number 34. And Zach C.
I'd say that this Birmingham Southern team is probably the most complete team that we've seen come through here on the season. You know, their passing game hasn't even been working today, and they're still making this a really close competitive game that could go either way down the stretch. So their defense looks pretty solid.
Yeah, if their passing game could get back to where it is statistically, as Jewett's going to take, say, out of bounds, and that'll bring up 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, depending on where they mark him. Barry, I think, just didn't have the run game that Birmingham Southern does. And one thing I'll say is at the college level, if you've got a dominant run game, it demoralizes the team so much because they are able to eat up so much clock. If you got an explosive passing game, you get back into games pretty quick. But it's really a different story about trying to just take so much opportunity away from your opposing team. And Birmingham Southern, if they are able to get the lead, this is going to be a very challenging game for Trinity. 3rd down run, not able to get past the first down marker. Got 2 to 3 yards. I don't know if that was shuffled or if it was Robertson. It was shuffled. So 3rd and 5, and he gets about 2. So it'll be a 4th down situation. Now Birmingham Southern has shown the fake punt once already, as we are under 5 minutes here in the third quarter.
Yeah, you can never count that plan out again, except punt is underway.
And this one shanked off to the right side, and that will roll out of bounds on the midfield side of the 30. And that's where Trinity's offense will take over. If nothing else, Trinity's offense needs to have a sustained drive just to let the defense catch their breath. They've been out there for almost the entire third quarter and doing a fantastic job on that drive right there to get off the field. 4:44 here, and it'll be Messick's and crew coming back out. Griffin Lay will be the tailback. Levine at the bottom of your screen. Burtness up in the slot, and Stewart to the top. And Burtness gets laid out. And good to see him bounce back up, as I think he was. Saw him reach for his shoulder immediately on that one, and looks to be fine.
Yeah, Tigers really need to get something here, at least extend the drive to another series. If you can't do that here, then Birmingham Southern, as you mentioned, gets the ball back almost immediately, and there's no real time for the defense to recover from having to make all those stops. Be a really precarious position if the Tigers can't get anything here.
Merrifield will take what is officially a reception on the shovel pass forward from Messick, and he's going to go for no gain. He might have even lost a yard. Does, in fact, lose a yard, and that'll bring up 3rd and 11.
Really important here that the Tigers are able to convert here on 3rd and 11. course, you'd imagine this one would be in the air.
I would look to see maybe a screenplay here for Griffin Lay. We'll see what Wade Lytle and Coach Urban have drawn up. Now they're going to throw it downfield, and that should be pass interference. It is. There's the flag.
Yeah, good call up here from Josh in the booth. Looked like the hands were all over the receiver before the ball got there.
It was thrown into coverage, and the hands were basically holding Levine from getting to his spot. And see the field judge there kind of whipping his shoulder around, saying that he was pulling him. Because I think the officials are trying to decide whether or not that was pass interference. The flag came back in from your lower left of the screen, where they had probably the best look of it because they had the same look we did.
Yeah, the ball looked a bit underthrown in it.
And they are going to call pass interference.
There it is.
On the defense. So first down for the Tigers. They don't get it the easy way. Well, maybe they do get it the easy way. Birmingham Southern giving it to Trinity. And they will have the ball right around midfield. It'll be on the Tigers side at the 48.
Yeah, definitely the right call to make there, as the hands were over Levine before he had a chance to haul that ball in. You have to be really careful with your hand positioning as a defender.
And Tommy Levine not getting interfered with on that one. He's going to catch it and take it down inside the red zone past the 20 to the 19.
Excellent catch and run from Tommy Levine. Getting those yards after the reception is always critical for the offense. So he gets them into the red zone. Great chance here now for the Tigers to turn this drive into a scoring drive. Making this from a one-score game to a two-score game would be huge with how long Birmingham Southern's drives have taken. You know, try to create that distance here while you can.
Messick's on the toss. Lay almost couldn't get out there, but he's going to grab it and gains about half a yard. Go back to the previous play and the catch for Tommy Levine.
Good play fake.
Just had really good separation on the route. Nobody to cut off the inside pass. And then stopping on a dime.
There, yeah.
Those old enough visions of Florida State from back in the late 90s. Messick to the corner of the end zone. Levine steps back in front, and he's got it. They might call him for a push-off. We'll see. I don't know if he pushed off or not, but that flag was right there, and the defender was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, we can hear all the guys sitting next to us in the booth up here. Just kept hearing guys saying, he pushed off. So we might be seeing this one brought back. I didn't have the best angle up here. I was trying to look on the monitor to see what was going on.
Pass interference on the offense.
There it is.
It's a 15-yard penalty. Still second down.
Oh, big call here is instead of getting the 6 points there, Levine detracts 15 yards for the Tigers. 15-yard penalty. Wow, that is pretty crucial here.
I'm going to look at it again. If we're down in that area before. Catch it afterward there on the lower part of the screen. .237 third quarter. Messick's second and long, has a clean pocket, and then gets that one away. The pass complete.
Finally,
and that one out to Elliot Gaddis, and the senior tight end from Frisco, Texas, with the reception.
Good to see him on the stat sheet here today. Big reception there, getting the Tigers back into the red zone again. Third down and 6 here.
Levine, top of your screen. Merrifield inside of him. Burtness in the slot to the left. Stewart down at the corner. They're going to go to Burtness. That pass could be picked off or it's caught for a touchdown, and it is a touchdown. Both of them had it at the end. And there's going to be a flag. And we'll take a look at the play here in just a second. Well, for now, Tigers momentum gain back. They've got the lead 19-10, pending the penalty and everything else, but it was definitely after the play.
Looked like unsportsmanlike conduct from Birmingham Southern, maybe.
It could be both. Birmingham Southern popped up and got into Burtness's face, and it was
The result of the play
Viejas.
is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Taunting, number 87 of the scoring team. A 15-yard penalty is called a kickoff.
Oh, they're just going to call it on Burtness only.
Yeah, Burtness for the taunting play.
Still, what an impeccable reception from Burtness. He and Villageois both seem to come down with that ball.
And now Shepard to try to give the Tigers the 10-point lead once again. That is up and through. Tigers lead 20-10. They'll be kicking off from near their own end zone in just a bit. But for the time being, another look at it. Burtness in the slot off the left. And then both. Yeah, Burtness pulling it away there at the very end. I thought maybe it was a situation where both players had it. And then you'll see the penalty come in here. Burtness gets right up and into the face of the defender. And that'll get you the 15 yards, and that's why we are kicking off from the 20.
That was basically just a jump ball. Burtness using that height of his to get in there and make the play. So now Trinity with that 10-point lead in the way Birmingham Southern has been using the clock so long. Good to create that extra breathing room.
Elsewhere for Trinity fans, Trinity women's soccer team in the SCAC championships, taking a 2-0 victory over the University of Dallas. As the kickoff is underway, the return coming out to the 40, so they will make use of that penalty. The return man, Tavion Fleming, to the 40. They'll officially say the 39. Trinity women's soccer team now 15-3 on the year. And once again, they've refused to lose a SCAC game, whether regular season or postseason, for the 100th and something time since mid-2008. And they will play in the SCAC final against either Centenaire or Southwestern, as that game is still deadlocked. And trying to get some updates on Trinity volleyball playing in the SCAC championships over in Seguin, as Birmingham Southern looking to come back. Sheffield up past the 40 to the 43.
And Trinity's women's sports you're just talking about, they've been really succeeding. We're going to get to see the women's basketball team tonight.
And what a tackle from Michael Jewett. Taking Sheffield down behind the line. Trinity volleyball team improving their mark to 32-4. Although it was a little bit of a struggle against Austin College in the semifinal for the SCAC. They take the fourth set 28-26. And they will advance on to the final tomorrow. The Trinity men's soccer team also looking to advance on to the final. They got 2 minutes left in the half. They are 0-0 with Texas Lutheran. Tigers looking to have good results all the way around. They lead here 20-10. Women's basketball hosting a tournament with some of the nation's top teams today. East Texas Baptist in town, along with St. Thomas out of Minnesota. And George Fox out of Oregon. Now, East Texas Baptist, St. Thomas, and George Fox all have been ranked in the top 20 pretty regularly the past 3 to 5 years. And Trinity just on the outside receiving votes. And so that should be a fantastic tournament. That tips off at 4 o'clock. And so we're hoping to make it out of this one over to there. Saul and I have the call for the women's basketball game against George Fox coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. The Trinity fans can tune in for that. And
yeah, it should be a good one, as you mentioned. George Fox program with a lot of success. We've seen the Trinity women just go crazy in their own conference, so it'll be good to get an opponent from out of town to see a little bit of a closer showdown.
And if you're from Birmingham Southern saying, like, yeah, okay, we get it, talking about Trinity a lot, it's because I just don't want to bring the bad news. Barry 45, Center 22, 5 minutes to play in that one. Really no good results for either side here, Birmingham Southern or Trinity, from around the rest of the conference. Birmingham Southern's got work to do. They've got 15 minutes and 31 seconds to overcome a 10-point deficit to keep their playoff dreams alive. 3rd and 8. The pressure. Oaks gets it away. It's going to be incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. 24 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, great work by the Tigers, and now if they can get more points on the board on offense, could maybe put this thing even closer to being out of reach.
And to punt once again is going to be Wells Smith. Has looked good today. Quarterback hurry by Reese Matthews for the Tigers on the previous play. And that defensive front has really done a job for Trinity. Stewart's fair catch makes it at the 20. And the Tigers will take over right there. So basically 1 quarter and change left here. Tigers' run game has not been very proficient, just 38 yards on the ground. No yards passing so far in this quarter for Birmingham Southern. They only have 19 yards passing, but 200 yards rushing and passing apiece for Trinity and Birmingham Southern. 197 rushing for the Panthers, 194 passing for the Tigers. 232 total to 216. So it looks pretty competitive on paper, but it's almost an inverse. Trinity's passing game, they're going to have to find some running game here to eat some clock in the 4th quarter with a 10-point lead. As Messick runs out of bounds, 8 seconds left. And on the flip side, if you're Birmingham Southern, you've got to get something going through the air to put the ball on the ground the entire time. Especially at this point, Trinity, I think, can confidently just put the lineup out there to stop the run and force you to throw over the top. They feel comfortable enough in man-to-man coverage that they will take their chances. And we are headed to the 4th quarter. Trinity holding 10-point lead. Both teams scored a touchdown there in the 3rd quarter. And we'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back as we are underway for the final 15. Birmingham Southern's going to need their defense to come up and make a strong start here. As the ball from the 24 after Messick's run. And that will be given to Davis. And Charles Davis picks up enough for a Tiger first down.
Yeah, it's pretty imperative that the Tigers' run game is at least respectable here in the fourth quarter just to burn that clock. You know, Birmingham Southern has been all about taking those long running possessions. So if the Tigers are able to kind of, you know, extend this drive longer than the other ones, would do them a lot of justice.
Nice play call there, sending everybody in motion from the right side to the left. That creates a little bit of a running room for Davis, and he pushes ahead for about 4 yards. Don't want to look ahead already, but as Trinity is going to be content to run the ball here on this drive, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Next weekend at Rhodes to close out the regular season, 2 o'clock start up in Memphis. Not a year Rhodes would like to remember. On paper, Trinity should be in good shape. If they can win here, they're 7-2. A win next week makes them 8-2. They may miss the playoffs, but they will have an outside shot if they hold on. If Austin College can somehow upend Barry, then Trinity would be going to the postseason.
Yeah, never say never. Austin College stayed pretty competitive here until that final quarter against the Tigers. Final was 52-35 in that. And then they did put up 42 in their last week's game against this BSC Birmingham team. So they have the points to do it. Their defense has just struggled mightily. So we'll see if they're going to be able to put any pressure on Barry next week.
Austin College ahead 29-14 on Rhodes. Hendricks still out in front of Millsaps. That's going to be intercepted. No, incomplete. And for Birmingham Southern, that was Garrett Stevens. Stevens already with the sack today. Almost had the INT. And instead, it's going to be Trinity with the punt unit. 4th and 3. Definitely a spot where you're going to want to punt it away. TJ Radzinski with a beautiful punt his last time out.
Yeah, fortunate enough that it wasn't intercepted. The field position would have been really good there for the Panthers had that ball been picked off.
60 yards on his last punt. And this one not quite as good, but the fair catch called for at the 22. And Birmingham Southern will take over there. Radzinski had been averaging 38 yards per punt with a long of 60. And his counterpart averaging 35 and a half. And Radzinski's still at 38 and a half after that one. Excellent punting here. I mean, it's something that I think that over the last, this year, 5 games so far, we've seen some terrible punts.
Oh, we've seen some really interesting-looking punting.
And right now we're 8 punts into this game, and I think there's only been one that I would say was shanked, and it still went 30 yards. So pretty excellent punting from both teams. You don't necessarily love to punt, but you love to have a punter who's going to boot the ball down and set your defense up in a good spot. And I think both of these guys have been able to do it. The lone exception to that was when Wells Smith kicked it a little bit too quickly or didn't have enough hang time on it for Chris Stewart to be able to return it 44 yards and set Tigers up in pretty good spot.
That punching we saw from Sewanee, they were kicking it from the side, running after the ball. It was really interesting.
And Shuffled talked about it. He might get going here in the second half. You'd like to see, if you're Birmingham Southern, your team with the lead so that he can just run the ball out to finish the game.
Yeah, already has a touchdown here. Well into the triple digits now, I'd imagine, with the team having 203 total rushing yards.
That rush for 14. He's got back-to-back carries for 20 yards now, and 25 for 132. He's up averaging 5.3 a carry. And this will be Robertson. So that'll be his 8th carry. Had 50 yards before this one. And he'll have 54, 55 at this point.
Yeah, Josh, it seems like the Panthers are content with this run offense, even here in the fourth quarter. If they're able to get points on the board, and that's the only way they're able to do it today, I think that's what they're going to keep doing, and just trust that their defense can get a quick stop.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going to have timeouts. They've got 2 left. Their run game has been effectively working as a passing game, as that one's going to be upended by Campbell Miller. I think he got blocked down to the ground, was still able to make the tackle. So Robertson unable to go very far. I think he gets officially a yard on that carry. And that'll bring up 3rd and 4, so Sheffield back in. And like I said, I mean, it's effectively been working as a passing attack. They're getting enough yardage for it to work as a passing attack. So stay with it. They haven't been able to do hardly anything through the air. They definitely haven't done anything through the air in this half. Still have 19 yards passing. And so Trinity was 194 and Birmingham Southern at 10% of that. Oaks is going to try to add to it. Jewett's going to give chase. Now Oaks is just going to take the corner and he's going to run for the first down. And that'll put them into Tiger territory at about the 42, I believe. I'm not going to say the 43, maybe. Yeah, the 43. An opportunity for Trinity to get off the field, and they couldn't quite do it.
Yeah, good scampering there from Trevor Oaks. It looked like he was going to try the pass. It looked like it might have been initially intended to be a pass play drawn up that way, and it just sort of collapsed. Seems to be the case in a lot of these runs we see from the quarterback.
Yeah, and some of those plays I think are designed to clear out the receivers, clear out the defenders on that side. They're going to be back up the middle. And once again, Shea making the run. Second, didn't gain a whole lot. So 2nd down. Clock now running now almost 9 minutes, so I think this is where it's going to start to get interesting for Birmingham Southern. I think they definitely need to score on this drive, even if they just walk away with a field goal to make it a one-possession game. Try to get that defensive stop. And they probably are going to need at least 4 or 5 minutes if they want to continue to do this all rushing, if they don't feel confident in their passing game.
Yeah, and they're going to have to make sure they manage their timeouts well as well. They still have 2 of them left.
Shuffled. He's going to be hit immediately at the line, and he goes for no gain.
Yeah, despite all of his yardage on the day, he's had a few of those where Trinity has been able to sniff him out after a yard or two, even at no gain. So brings up 3rd down here. Good chance here for the Tigers to put Birmingham Southern in a really difficult spot with only about 8.5 left.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to say for Trinity. They've given up over 250 yards, or 234 yards on the ground now, 250 yards in the game. I would say it's a very, very good defensive job. Sheffield, now it's going to be a halfback pass. He's got Oaks, and Oaks will make the catch and immediately get hit. Austin Michaelis, something he couldn't do his last 4 years out on the pitch down at Paul McGinley Field. Laying out Oaks, who makes the catch for the first down.
Wow, interesting play call there, and it worked well. Good job by Oaks to secure that ball. Quarterbacks aren't used to taking the sort of huge hits immediately like that, but did hold on for the first down.
Yeah, we got a flag and a issue there. Let's go back and look at that play one more time. It was an absolutely brilliant play call. Sheffield rolling out and then coming back to Oaks. He's going to have plenty of time. And Michaelis realized he couldn't make the interception there. He's going to get the next best thing, and I love that from Trevor Oaks.
Yeah, there's the celebration.
The celebration, first down. Yeah, I just got hit hard. Doesn't matter. I made the catch, and I held on.
That's a true competitor. That's a team player right there.
Fantastic from Trevor Oaks. And that's the first completion of the second half for Birmingham Southern. First and 15 after the false start. Going back. Now Oaks has a completed pass. That's right at the stick. And we'll see it's going to be officially a yard short. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 1.
Well, now the Tigers are in trouble if Oaks has figured out passing game a little bit. After bringing that reception in, now throwing himself again.
Yeah, maybe they just needed something to break it up just a bit. And that little halfback toss play may have been the exact thing they needed. Sheffield, once again, off to the right side. He's going to have the first down and more into the red zone. And Birmingham Southern, they were working against the clock, but the offense is moving. 7 minutes to go here in the game.
Yeah, first down on the 18-yard line. It's back into Trinity territory here, in the red zone rather.
Final from Kentucky, 45-22. Barry wins against center. Birmingham Southern needs to find the end zone quickly. Robertson, and that's Nick Hover saving the touchdown and saving the Tigers here. If nothing else, it forces more time to run off the clock. Clock will stop until the yardage sticks can be moved. And now it's running once again. So if nothing else, it saves a little bit of time, or it takes time off the clock, which goes to Trinity's favor, up 2 scores.
And we've seen some interesting plays, throughout the season called by other teams. I'm curious if this drive takes longer than they anticipate here, would they go for an onside kick? I mean, the obvious risk is you give Trinity just incredible field position, but
well, if you can score a touchdown here, I think it takes a little bit of that load off of you, because even if Trinity kicked a field goal somehow, it's still, you only need a touchdown. Say's run didn't produce much. Now Suffolk back to carrying the defenders. I mean, we've talked it all day, just how good of a running back he is. But that play there in the fourth quarter with 55 minutes into this game, and he's still dragging defenders.
He's not a big guy either. He's listed as 5'7", 170. And if you even just looking at him out there on the screen, does not look like a big guy.
Crowd to their feet on both sides. 3rd and goal. Ball at the 7. Suffolk met at the line. And the Tigers are going to stop here on 3rd down. They're initially going to get him to the 5.
Yeah, time to bring out the field goal unit.
Yeah, it's a call you have to make. You want that touchdown, but you've got to get the points here.
Yeah, perfect spot here for the Tigers. Even assuming this field goal goes in, you're still up by a score here, up by a touchdown. So
home crowd trying to make as much noise as possible. Would you expect a timeout from Coach Urban? Does, yes. And he missed it. Well, I thought there was a timeout called. There was not. And then the field goal attempt is no good, off to the left side.
Wow, you can't blame that all on the kicker either. The snap was really low. Not sure how that play just devolved so poorly for Birmingham Southern. They may have just kicked their way out of this one.
Tigers will have the ball at the 20. We'll take one more look at it.
Yeah, look how low that snap is right here. As we get the play going here. Looked like the holder was still moving it as he went to make the kick. Just went a little bit left.
Yeah, we're back to live action. Tigers keep it on the ground. I would imagine you let the clock run here. If you can get a stop on 2nd down, you can start calling your timeouts. They've got 2 left. They don't have all 3, and that's going to hurt. It's going to allow Trinity to run the play clock down an extra 30 seconds.
Well, yeah, now the Panthers are going to be forced to throw when they get the ball back.
They will still need those 2 scores. An unfortunate turn of events for Panther fans. And if you're Trinity, that worked out beautifully. Birmingham Southern themselves took 6 minutes off the clock and came away with nothing.
Yeah, that was the perfect result there.
Run to the left side, Griffin Lay. If he can get one more block, he's got a little bit more yardage, and he's up closer to that 1st down marker. Stays inbounds, the clock will run, and I think the timeouts start to come, and they do. There'll be a timeout. Birmingham Southern has to get this stop right here. The game's not over if they don't, but it'll basically take a miracle at that point for Birmingham Southern, because Trinity can roll off 2 minutes with no timeouts from Birmingham Southern. They still have 1, so they could roll off 1:20 from this, and would basically leave 2 minutes, no timeouts for Birmingham Southern offense to have to score a touchdown, get the onside kick, and then basically I would guess maybe a Hail Mary or something towards the end of the game.
Yeah, you'd be asking for a lot that has to fall into place there. Really speaks, it's a testament to Trinity's defense how this game has played out. The Panthers hadn't scored fewer than 14 all season.
They're going to add 4 more seconds to this clock here. It's going to be 3:44, or excuse me, 3:34. So they took off a few seconds. It rolled down to 3:31. They moved it to 3:40, and now the official wanting it at 3:34 when the timeout came in. Look there at the Tiger offense. Senior Tommy Levine. Not a victory formation at this point. Tigers need a first down. They probably need 2 to officially ice it. But they need to get a first down here. Messick out of shotgun. Little shovel pass. It's Chris Stewart. He's got the edge. Can he get over the line? He had to get over the 30, and it is going to be close. The far side judge coming in now. He's going to either a timeout was called or he's calling for time so they can measure. No, timeout for Birmingham Southern.
Man, I don't think he got it from this angle.
No, they're going to mark him half a yard short, and that's, I think, a really good mark. I never saw him get the ball over the 30. It's a pretty easy call to see. He had to get over the 30. I didn't see him get there at all, and it wasn't even close. I mean, that might even be a generous spot for Trinity.
Right. Yeah, that play, it was an interesting play call, but read well by the defense.
And so Trinity will most likely punt this away. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a hard snap count, maybe.
Yeah, try to draw them off.
If you can draw them off and get that first down, but if nothing else, because Trinity still got 3 timeouts and they don't need to take them anywhere. And so now they're just going to go straight punt formation, punt this away, use the clock to their advantage, 3:25 to play. See what they can make of this.
That was a critical stop there from Birmingham Southern. I mean, this still going to be really difficult to come back from this 10-point hole with only 3.5 left, but definitely a better position than they would have been had Trinity been able to milk that clock just a little bit longer.
Birmingham Southern comes after it. Ozinski sends it away. And the punt is caught and immediately taken down on his return. That was Cole Merrill. Tigers get down there in a hurry. And the ball will be at the 32. Talked on that last defensive outing for the Tigers. The hit from Austin Michaelis. And his former teammates still over there on Paul McGinley Field. 25 minutes to go in regulation. And it is still 0-0 with TLU.
TLU has that guy, Luis Green, who's been scoring in just about every single game. So good that the Tigers soccer team has kept him off the board.
Yeah, for a comparison, Luis Green is the soccer, what shuffled is to running. Oaks drops back over the middle, has a receiver. It's caught complete. And
wow.
Katie Lee is going to make that tackle.
That was a big play. That took up a large part of the yardage they needed to Gentry Nice.
Yeah, Gentry Nice, second catch of the day. And a big play for Birmingham Southern. They need a couple more like that. They have to be in quick strike mentality. Oaks going deep again. He's got his man. And right there at the very last second, making the play. And I believe Austin Pruitt. No. Number 26, Nick Bertani. I'm sorry, that was Birmingham Southern's roster. Number 26 for the Tigers is Malik Ross, making a huge play.
Yeah, it looked like the receiver might have gotten hurt on that play. He's still down. Looks like number 1, Brandon Rue. Not sure where he got hit on that play. It just looked like good coverage. Looks like he's all right. Man, he looks fine. I don't want to make any judgments there, but you know, staying down a little longer almost serves like a timeout for your team to get more time to talk over the plays there.
Ross didn't even look back. Oh, you see the hit coming in at the very end. I don't know if that's just staying down. He got hit pretty hard there from Nick Hover at the very end.
Yeah, I hope he's all right.
Second down and 10. Oaks stepping up into the pocket. And Malik Ross with the coverage again. And the receiver making the catch, but out of bounds. So it'll be third down and 10. And that's going to require a little bit of medical staff attention.
Wow, the exact same formula as that last play, going down the sideline there. Malik Ross picking it off.
Yeah, Birmingham Southern doesn't have a whole lot of options. They're going to have to use that sideline because they're going to need to get out of bounds. If they get a first down, the clock will stop momentarily, but they're going to have to run up and either choose to spike it and waste time.
Looks like they're still treating that receiver down there near the sideline.
I couldn't see the number initially.
Yeah, let's see.
Ends in a 4. He landed a little awkwardly, but
there's just number 4 there, Wells Smith, the punter.
Yeah, 6'1" junior, listed as a wide receiver during the punting duties. And it's good to see him get back up. Hopefully he can shake it off, and he's hoping that his team can convert here on third down. If not, at least within the next 2 plays, give himself a chance to get back out there. Oaks drops back, steps up, fires, hits his receiver, and it is complete.
Wow, what
for a first down. What a catch.
There. That was an impressive catch. Looked like it was bobbled there.
And that'll be well, now they haven't moved the sticks yet, and one official came in and rolled it incomplete.
Oh.
And the one from the backside rolled it complete, and the one from the front rolled it incomplete. And it all had to do with where he landed. And obviously tell Birmingham Southern's coach not happy about the call coming in to override the first down. Fourth down, Birmingham Southern needs a first right here. Over the middle, complete.
Wow, that play just saved the game for Birmingham Southern.
Over the middle, Reagan Paget. And Reagan Paget, maybe a little bit of sweet justice for Birmingham Southern. They thought they had a first down on the previous play, ruled incomplete. Now they come back. That's going to be at least a flag.
I'm
My
surprised
goodness.
there's no flag. It looked like
My
there was
goodness.
Wow, I'm just as shocked as you are on that. The receiver is shocked as well. Brandon Rue is just confused.
I think if nothing else, you could call holding, which you don't need.
Yeah.
Which you don't need the pass interference and the ball to be, catchable or anything else. But
Looked like a pretty blatant pass interference. The ball was up there in the area.
Definitely held on the back of the jersey. Trinity gets that call there. We'll see if it hurts Birmingham Southern. Obviously, it's going to force them to do more with time. Into the corner of the end zone. They've got a receiver, and it's right through his hands. Third down for Birmingham Southern. 2:02 to play.
That could have been the ball there. They've had quite a few of these close looks.
Cole Merrill just has to go right through his hands. Now 2:02 to play. Birmingham Southern out of timeouts. They have 2 plays to get a first down. They don't have to score to continue this drive. Now shuffled. It's going to be tripped up. Campbell Miller. Once again, Campbell Miller. And Birmingham Southern will send out the field goal unit once again. Minute 46, minute 45. The clock continues to run.
Yeah, they need to convert this or the game's over. This is a field goal to stay in the game.
Hayden Terrell missed his last one from similar distance. Hooked it left. And timeout, Trinity.
That was another poor snap there. It might have just been in their favor to just let that play run out.
Yeah, it's always tough to tell whenever that whistle comes in because the players can hear the whistle as well as anybody can right there. And so as soon as they hear a whistle, it changes. You know, if the holder picks his head up or something else, you know, it could lead to the dropping of the ball. But it was a lower snap. Talked about it earlier. The old Mike Shanahan made that popular, icing the kicker. And you know, sometimes it works and sometimes it goes against you. And you know, I'm kind of curious on that call. You know, obviously you've got a chance here to ice the kicker, but on the flip side of that, you've got a guy that just went out there and just missed from around the same distance.
Even a
the
few
crowd,
yards shorter, yeah.
The crowd was into it. You know, nerves from your snapper, from your holder. You know, kind of let that go. We'll see if the crowd can get back to that level of excitement after the Campbell Miller tackle that forced the 4th down. Starting to rise back up.
All sorts of pressure riding on this one kick here.
Birmingham Southern's hopes pretty much lie on this play right here. It is up and through. No! Off to the right. So back-to-back misses for Birmingham Southern, and that will do it. A minute 24. Trinity will go out in victory formation. The Tigers will improve to 7-2, and their playoff hopes are still alive for Birmingham Southern. They are going to need a loss next week from Trinity and a loss from Barry to force the 3-way tie, and I do not know who's going to be the recipient of the automatic bid on a 3-way tie situation, but nonetheless, the chance for the Panthers to control their own destiny has faded. Essex in victory formation. And the Tigers will take one more of those, maybe 2, and walk out of here victorious.
You have to feel for the kid kicking the field goals there for Birmingham Southern. That one didn't look like it missed by too much either.
Yeah, I originally thought that was through from my angle.
Yeah, it's tough to see from up here. I thought it looked like it went in as well near that right corner.
Birmingham Southern outgains Trinity by 95 yards, 350 to 255. 100 yards better on passing for Trinity, 195 to 95. But 255 on the ground, just 60 for Trinity. But it doesn't matter. 2 Wyatt Messick's touchdown passes, one to Chris Stewart and the other to Austin Burtness. It's going to be the difference in this game. Robert shuffled 144 yards on the ground, 30 carries, 4.8 average, and a touchdown. Justin Robertson, 10 carries, 67 yards. Trevor Oakes, 8 for 20, 88 yards. Wyatt Messick will finish 14 of 22 for 195, 2 touchdowns. Robert Sheffield, 1 for 1 and 7 yards passing.
Yeah, that was a good play.
That was a good play, and I thought it was going to be enough to give Birmingham Southern a little bit of momentum. But in the end, Trinity 7-2. They conclude here on Senior Day with a victory, and they will play at Rhodes next week. You can check TrinityTigers.com for listings for Birmingham Southern. They will fall to 6-3, and they will host Millsaps next week. And Saul, thank you for all your work this season here with Trinity Football, and thank you to all who have tuned in. It's been a wonderful 2019 here from the Trinity standpoint, and we'll hopefully see you back in 2020. And for all of us here in San Antonio at Trinity, for Tiger Network, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.